Coach Marlo of MIBR and Arthur to help with some translation. Now, Coach Marlo, perfect. Perfect score, basically. And SRN really, really showing up today. I'm wondering how important, like, all of those first picks are to the tone of the rest of the round and the energy of the team, especially with a scoreline like that.
Então, primeiramente, parabéns. Foi, assim, jogo muito perfeito. A gente quer saber, por conta de SRN tá aparecendo muito e tendo muitos dos primeiros kills, como é que isso dita o tom da partida e mesmo a energia da galera para ter um resultado tão expressivo?
Tipo, ontem a gente não conseguiu fazer o nosso jogo. A SRN ela não estava tão confortável. Ontem a gente teve uma conversa que a gente vinha vir sem fofoca mesmo. E que daqui pra frente a gente só vai evoluir no campeonato e vocês vão ver realmente o verdadeiro MIBR, que é a CRN sendo a star player, a Jelly complementando, todo mundo se ajudando. E esse é o recado que eu queria passar também.
So, if comparing to yesterday, we couldn't actually show much of the game that we have been preparing, and we had like a long talk. We talked about things here and there, but specifically that SRN would actually show up and like do their best, as well as Jelly would be helping to set tones here and there. But overall, like comparing to anything, we gonna be seeing the real MIBR from now on, going towards the next matches as well.
Oh, I'm so excited to see the real MIBR. Have you guys ever seen two 13-0s back-to-back? Who knows?
Welcome back to Game Changers Championships. We just finished map 1 with our very first 13-0 of this tournament, and it was by MIBR. But you know what? Zeta Division, never despair. You can join the Zeta Club and the 13-0 Club. You are not alone. Now we do have to talk.
It's not
the first time for Zeta this year.
It's Mixwell's club.
It's not. Talon, Zeta Division over in franchise. It's the 13-0s. It's a nice. It's a thing you need to collect. You know, it's one of those bucket list things. Now, how did MIBR do it? They were incredible. They stepped it up a notch with Jelly, setting the tone with this early 3K that we've chosen as today's HyperX reflex moment, Kukuka.
I mean, and you have to, because I think throughout the first half, the moments that Jelly was given were uncountable. There were too many, but this one in
Slow
particular,
it down.
Please, I need to see it again, and I need to see it slow, because at the beginning she sees a bit of the barrel and gets the first kill, and then just traces, oh, she sees a little bit of the shoulder, traces the barrel, then a bullet is coming from the left. She knows where the next player can be, and it's just a Jelly moment. But throughout this entire half, I have to give props to Jelly, but I think everybody on the team stepped up. The smokes were flawless, the recons were flawless, like the utility from the side of MIBR was on point.
Yeah, and I think the worrying thing, and I'm sure we've got a clip for it in a moment, is that there were opportunities for Zeta to get back into the game, but they kind of then choked those moments. And I want to give, obviously, the plaudits over to the other side. I believe the clip we're about to see is a post-plant where you're going to witness that Jelly gets up in their face, even though there's this sort of great post-plant with lots of utility, a Hunter's Fury, everything available to them. The fact is Jelly's so disruptive that it just causes the mass amount of issues, and they kind of choke from this position onwards. So it's kind of sad, because this round overall was very good for them. They managed to fake the rotations, they managed to pull players away, and they managed to get into a very advantageous post-plant with a Hunter's Fury. This, from this point onwards, looks like an unlosable round.
Totally.
But unfortunately it is.
Yeah, exactly. And Serena has her ultimate as well. Akko with the Odin for the spam in case Mitch is watching from home. Everything, as you said, should have been on their side. But Jelly having her ultimate, forcing everybody out of position. Now they have to keep an eye on the back as well. And just pushing them also, just using the flashes. And also Melissa just trusting that defuse. It's too late for when Zeta want to take action. I think that we saw that this kind of thing happening throughout the entire match. When they wanted to start, when they made a decision, it was already too late.
Exactly. It was a flawless defensive half for the side of MIBR. And you could see Zeta, they were panicking a little bit at that point because MIBR just had that down to a T. They had it over and over again. They were just kind of sending them in a bit of a frenzy here. And look at these stats, especially by this particular duo.
We could have put anyone on this graphic,
Literally.
to be
Frankly,
honest.
yes. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think by the end, Sayuri was right at the top of the board. I think only dying like 3 times in the game. It truly was a full team performance. Fantastic from these individuals in particular. I think SRN, the amount of opening picks with that operator was just filthy. The amount of times where you see Jelly in a highly aggressive position where you go, okay, maybe she gets 1 kill, maybe she does something. It was always a multi-frag, it was always high impact. And I think it just got to the point where you could see that ZETA were playing so passive and so scared because they were waiting for someone to push. And so we had executes with like 15, 20 seconds left, and it was just chaos.
And it's surprising still, right? Because at the end of the day, it is Ascent. It is not like a new map or a difficult map. It's the same old compositions that we've been seeing for years. But on the side of MIBR, it's not that this was a bad map for them. Like, they lost it once in the entire year, and they feel very comfortable. And now we're going to go with their choice of Sunset for the closing. Now, Mika was saying, could we get 2 13-0s? I don't see that happening, but I want to see what Jelly was talking about with changing things and improving them. We're not going to get potentially that matchup against the Neon, so it should be good for them.
I have to say, like you said, Ascent is not a map that ZETA is bad at by any means. Obviously, there was their map pick, but Sunset as well, ZETA has shown to perform. But what we've noticed, at least coming in APAC, once their mental gets broken like this, it's hard for them to recover. And this is what I really want to see from them, to at all have a chance to stay in the game. Because we don't want to see a second 13-0.
Is in the match that they won versus FlyQuest Red, that was Suzu going 31-18. Like, that was an insane individual performance. So to come off the back of a 0-13 game, going when you haven't had the high highs that you were talking about in like previous series that they had to come back versus FlyQuest as well. But their expectations have to be so high on some of these players individually if they're going to be able to take this map away. And sure, it was lost against G2, but I think this is clearly a map that, if you look versus GX, was incredibly comfortable for the side of MIBR. And the worry is they've now been defeated. So now the fact they picked it means that they feel confident that they have fixed those issues. And it was also like Petra doing crazy stuff as well.
And now as we jump into the agent selector, we see no surprises. Now with ZETA starting on the defense, I want to cut them some slack. I was talking about how on Ascent the defense had been very good, where apparently MIBR's was just better. But with them, I think that Serena can come into fruition. I think that she can have a lot more impact in this game. And I really, really hope that Akko has a better game.
I think we're all hoping for that. We do want to see a 3-mapper. We want to see a much more solid play coming from the side of ZETA Division. But you know what? MIBR is looking stronger than ever. We're going to go into map 2. Hopefully we can go the distance. Let's go back to our casters, Uber and Wyatt.
It's one thing to try and bounce back from a map that you lose, right? Happens often at this level. You know, it's a hallmark of champions to, you know, be able to put that behind them and move on. It's another thing entirely, I think, to bounce back from a 13-0 map, the first that we've ever seen in a game change as champions. And ZETA Division were already not feeling confident to start with.
Yeah, they were a team in the online qualifier to get here that always looked strategically very good, but when the going got rough in terms of firepower, losing duels, you could see confidence fade in some of those players, not being as decisive. And their run has been so contrasting to that, them in the past, but if they slip into those old ways here, could be the end of them. And look at this aggression straight off the jump, but SRN wins that first engagement against Serena.
And what SRN might not be sure of is how far UR has actually pushed up tiles. Melissa has an off angle, gets the drop on UR, who then hits the tripwire. Okay, she's at least able to get back over towards the A side, but that early aggression from ZETA, they haven't actually been able to derive anything from it. And here comes the hit over towards this B side. Wingman going to get that plant down straight away. And SRN, low as they are, still in a position to be deadly.
MIBR were playing for a lot of B main post plants on this map the other day. Kind of got tactically outclassed. Got tactically outclassed by G2. ZETA needs to follow them in suit. They need this map win, or they are out of the tournament.
Hotline for Sayori off the timing of that recon. SRN emerges, but not really within a window to find that pick, but in comes Suzu, finds 2 in fact, and she's still hunting. Akko's able to win it out there from Market with the classic, and Jubish and Melissa are so low, they need to be decisive here. Unlike the previous map, they have to go for it now. Melissa low, 1 tap will do it. Still respected by Akko, but Suzu now up on that defuse. Oh, man.
The time is just not enough. It was 0.6 off. There was a moment of hesitation where Suzu didn't get onto the spike. Looked like maybe she wanted to go forward to fight into main.
This is the problem today for ZETA
This is
Division.
another round where you could just, feel the pain in your soul, man, when you're watching how they've slipped away. More than winnable. It just needed to be stuck a moment earlier. So brutal. It felt like suddenly we were just gonna get a game on our hands right away onto map 2. Forget map 1. Well, now it's time to forget map 1. It's time to forget round 1. ZETA needs to stay focused. They are playing good rounds of Valorant. They're slipping through their grasp from the most tiny of errors. It is tough to watch, man. I'm getting exasperated watching
You
some
look
of this
extremely uncomfortable.
I'm getting stressed watching this.
All right, MIBR have realized that there are no trips here. Nothing really bought up at all for ZETA. There is a frenzy for Suzu, but Serena doesn't actually get any tripwire. So MIBR get to just walk up on that B site now. 4 players, of course, left from ZETA will try and converge. Ideally, probably perish to the spike, but it's going to be a little bit hard to get within range of that. Moko's able to do with SRN at least. Dizzy doesn't spot anything out. Jelly simply picks up that Guardian and goes back to work. Just Arco here. Finds one.
Hey, they'll take that. Not bad. All classics, 1 frenzy for Suzu on account of her getting a few kills. Got a tiny upgrade. Steal a couple guns away. Can't be too mad at that.
Here's a walk up. Remember, no Cypher util at all, so MIBR are allowed to get right on up here. Bit of a scrappy fight ensues as ZETA don't want to just die to the spike like many would in this situation. Get a couple guns away.
On this same situation in map 1, it was the bonus round win for MIBR after winning the first pistol that cascaded them into this massive, overwhelming lead. This is the opportunity for ZETA to stabilize. Due to that damage, you can see that the quality of MIBR's bonus round buy, very poor.
It's exactly, I think, what ZETA were looking to do there with those pistols. Makes sense. It's a risk, but they got 3 guns away. SRN has moved up here, and the flash still there on Suzu. Nicely set up by Sayori. Great flashpoint thrown in. It's Arena. This isn't supposed to happen. MIBR coming to this round with a singular rifle. ZETA fully bought up their proper gun round. And now they've got no sight control to speak of.
One enemy remaining.
Cam goes on in. You are spotted out by SRN, who's up to their 3rd, and make it 4. And this is exactly how Ascent got out of control.
In the same fashion, SRN is just running at them.
8-2.
Fearless. 8-2. In the first 2 matches that MIBR have played, SRN nearly doubled the opposing duelist in both in first engagements. Truly fearless on this entry. Happy to take every single engagement. See someone show up on the minimap? Okay, bet. I'm running at them and gets 4 in that fashion.
MIBR bought then buy. They bought 3 sheriffs. They had a Vandal and a Bulldog in that round. Full buy for ZETA, by the way. Disastrous. ZETA now the ones that have had to save, of course. A Stinger for Suzu. Sheriffs for the rest of the team. Jelly very close to a thrash here.
Had to have this camera trap like set up, but Sayuri dodged the fault line and swung. Fair attempt from ZETA.
I'm getting deja vu here, Wyatt. This is a little bit frightening. SRN up to 9 kills here. All right. Sure.
Enemy remaining.
A little bit of friendly fire, I suppose, because why not? And also SRN going to be unfortunate for ZETA that they will certainly be hunting down this last kill and are 1 away from a showstopper again. Certainly expecting to see MIBR contending for one of these orbs early. It was something that I believe Tom had touched on the desk, how much value SRN was extracting with a showstopper against G2.
And also they react really well to this trap play. They might be able to stabilize there and have enough players as well not affected by that util.
It's because they had Sayuri playing further back, ready to swing off of that trap play. It's a play that is fairly common for the defenders to use, and when you're playing for the orb, you need to be ready to react to it. MIBR, obviously, more than ready. Keenly aware. And here's that thrash to clear out all of Elbow. And there's that take of the orb. Showstopper in the hands of SRN. ZETA are going to need to be prepared to get out of the way of that. And that's something I expect them to do. They should be playing for retake here. That is what they are known for. Big retakes.
Wait a moment.
Yeah, they absolutely know, of course. They're dealing with Showstopper in a round like this. Suzu, okay. I kind of like that. Getting hit by the cam, the bait fall away, but Suzu's ready to actually peer into mid and take that kill. Here comes Thrash again. SRM with a Showstopper. No connection. They get started up on the box by the looks of things, and Moko is sat there in that corner. Sayori just on the other side of the rest of ZETA as they try and surge back in. And this retake plan has gone very, very well, because MIBR cannot push off the A side with that Showstopper.
And it's finally happened. Round 5 of Game 2. Some life for ZETA. Can take a deep sigh of relief. They're on the board, playing to what they do best, which is setting up for a big team retake. The things that they've tried run, the things that they've worked on in scrims countless times. Credit to Suzu, heads up, ready to deal with the lurk from Shibish.
Yeah, nicely done.
And working together to get back into the site. Akko nearing a critical ultimate here into this round. Rolling Thunder just one away.
Yeah, I mean, if that's going to be the plan for ZETA, if they want to keep attempting to play a retake style, that's an ultimate that's going to assist them a lot. They're going to move up here and actually play a little bit closer. No Thrash available, of course, like the last round, so it might be I can't check this easily. Suzu, a little bit of an unexpected position, requires a crosshair adjustment from Melissa, but she's able to make that connect.
Moko was set up with the paranoia, but it just came out too late. Wasn't really ready to use it reactively, nor just defensively to fall back. And that nets a first kill for MIBR. Serena wants to make up for that deficit, being in the 4v5 by taking some space deep in mid. Listen to the footsteps, so much info right now for her.
Does she realize it? I think she does here, that it might be a split. Serena can be in a really good position here to catch anyone on the rotate. You should know about 3 players who are inside that B side of the map.
Now Jelly feels they need to deal with Moko opportunity, and now it's Serena finds that kill. Neural theft.
This is so much better from ZETA Division now. Look at all the map control they've managed to take. Jelly's going to try to find a way out of this from tiles. Wingman actually, I think, delivers a payload there, so to speak. And Serena has a dodge away from that aftershock. It's going to be Jelly finding 2. Now we're even.
I'm not sure if Jelly just spotted Moko there, peering out of the dark cover at that last moment. 15 seconds on the clock. UR has a recon ready to go. They can get aggressive on the spike tap.
She hears this. 2 cross and on the way! UR is able to bring them down. Getting into the game in a big way here.
And I love to see that in the mid-round from Serena. Confident, getting all that space down mid, gathered all of that information. Calmed it to Moko, who then reactively makes their own aggressive play off the back of it. And with that kill, Serena was able to find one of the players being dragged out of B main, pops that neural theft. Now we're getting active. Now we're making things happen on our own accord.
That's sort of always sort of trying to adapt or react to what MIBR are throwing up early in these rounds. What's the next variation going to be now for ZETA Division? Straight away. It is going to be a Rolling Thunder that will allow SRN to get into market here. Interesting. Hunter's Fury from UR here, expecting a flood through that market side. She's correct. Wingman already going to get this plant down. Jelly looks towards the back of the site. We'll just get that Dizzy refresh, as well as Wingman. MIBR now spread.
Rolling Thunder of their own for ZETA Division to get back into this site right now.
Melissa's got a pinch here from mid, though. This could be an issue for ZETA Division if it even comes to it. There it is, Melissa for 2. ZETA had 0 oversight of that part of the map. Now you're calling on Moko to go for a legitimate 1 versus 5.
Certainly a tough ask. It was crisp on that first headshot, but just unwinnable. Walks into the triple face for MIBR, who came into the round with a plan and enacted it to perfection. Just that Rolling Thunder off the rip with SRN flying through market.
Oh, man.
And then delaying into that read wrap that came from Melissa late in mid.
She throws a paranoia first as well, so it's doubly devastating. So those ZETA Division players caught up there in market. Good opener. I mean, I like that. Rolling Thunder used purely just to take space there for SRN.
And if there was a player in market that was just set up for SRN to get a free kill, and then it's that second layer that MIBR have on top of that in the strat for the Melissa. Re-wrap through mid, and then the rest of the team fight through site, pinch the retakers in market.
So MIBR respond, after a round where ZETA Division really proactively, aggressively take map control, but get so much of it for free. MIBR look to really lock down that B side, get in there through market. Like we said, the late refrank was picture perfect from Melissa. This is now another coach Rio to timeout. Now we saw this on Ascent, and honestly, the strat that Rio to call was very, very good.
It worked. It was a great strat, and it did work.
ZETA just lost the round with the, in a 4v1 situation.
Yeah, where they didn't hear that someone had actually tapped the spike and was sticking it. We'll see what he's got cooked up for them out of this one. Matter of fact, against FlyQuest, I believe it was on Sunset, they were down 5-2. Ryota called a timeout, and from there they strung 5 rounds together in a row.
To 7-5.
Right there.
So we'll see if they can repeat the same to get back into this series, though that one was a lot closer. They're going to need to really dig deep here.
It's too early. UR is not ready for that. The flashpoint came in, and Suzu at least trying to refrag that. But SRN is just doing whatever they want. I see. There was a TP deep there by Melissa over towards the spawn side. No one to see. And ZETA Division. Weaker weaponry, yes.
Spike planted.
But just getting isolated from one another. And absolutely ruined.
SRN really is just running around like this is a deathmatch lobby at the moment. No fear. There's just no support right now being set up for... Thought set up for the ace. Jelly steals one away.
6 attack side rounds already here for MIBR. It's still a good chunk of the half to play. Not to mention the fact they've got Showstopper and Thrash already developed here. Look at that. There was an attempt at a defensive, rolling thunder that Suzu tries to play off of, but SRN is too fast. They're too far ahead of it.
That's really all it comes down to. SRN beating the pace of that defensive set play. And now has their third, I believe, showstopper of the half already. Going fast up mid, Paranoia through market. Tripwire's pretty annoying when you have the ultimate out. Serena could be in trouble, however.
That actually benefits SRN because they are nearsighted, so they can at least see that cyber cage. Jelly and Melissa are able to find one each. Now, no control of the side here for ZETA Division. SRN's job here is to get up and disrupt towards Bova. Sayori also be able to swing out of the cyber cage off contact. SRN surely sees Suzu there. Paint Shell's causing some problems. Another little shoulder peek from UR. Now Suzu realizes she's going to try and bail the Sova out here, but it's too many angles to watch. And eventually SRN gets their 3K for the round. Another day at the office.
And I think SRN, SRN, if things keep going as they are, is definitely en route to putting up the biggest individual performance of any player on one map in GC Champions so far. 19 for 5. Is in the flow state, taking every duel, winning every duel.
They are, brimming with confidence, always out first. MIBR are able to lean on a real star power. First in duelist.
Yeah, all of the utility just being thrown for SRN. Hey, go have fun in market, go take some duels, go run around with the showstopper. Here's your fault line, here's your paranoia. We're just gonna go plant the spike.
You can thrash in, SRN can come into the side behind this. Okay. Paint Shell's going to be clearing that tripwire. SRN gets through the cyber cage, so this is going to be ahead of Serena's timing. She will not be able to see how close the raise is, but we'll be able to surmise that she's here based on this little bit of util being thrown out. And that's a shorty. Yep, that is a shorty.
Just simply too locked in. Shorty through smokes, instant snap. Flick with the Vandal.
Down.
Here comes the Thrash. SRN.
Catches 2.
Why don't you get a couple more? Why don't you get another showstopper? Just one orb away. Let's go ahead and play for another. This is brutality. I can't believe what we're seeing. 23 for 5. Well, ACS, I don't know how you can, I don't know how to do that calculation myself, but I'll take a guess. Maybe it's like a 700-800 right now. Maybe 900, I don't know.
We're up around there. I think that's accurate. I mean, just makes an educated guess about Moko's position now. Common tuck spot, and then Jelly once again sets it up. Jeez. Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? But again, I mean, this is just another piece of util used to set up your duelists for success. MIBR have done that very effectively. Now, they don't have any big ultimates to set SRN up, but they just have a showstopper they can throw in.
And you can see right now, look at MIBR's positioning in B main. They're ready for that kind of trap play again. You had Sayuri placed a little further back, ready to swing if it came, because aware that ZETA are aware, they're going to want to get that showstopper. Getting the B side for free though, and SRN wins another duel, another first engagement.
And this is going to make a lot of space, and I don't think Serena has anywhere that she can actually go. She's in market. SRN on the way to wayward connection with the showstopper, still gets the Cypher. Okay, no 3K this round for SRN. Shed a tear for that. Arco there, it's going to be near side of mid though. Melissa can't win it out though. This is nicely done.
My eyes are down.
It's just Juvish now.
MIBR getting a little bit ahead of themselves in that situation, offering up too many 1v1 duels.
Juvish though able to stay undetected so far. You are though with the recon, they're not ready for the shot. Juvish will be lit by it. Arco tries to flash on in, but she's a little bit low. As is Juvish now, close to 1 versus 1, but MIBR win another one. Red Bull clutch here for Juvish.
The time was just dwindling too low. Forced Akko's hand, had to run forward, try and take that duel. But it's such an awkward engagement, having to make all that sound. Another 2 for SRN, now sitting at 25 and 6. Actually, unreal performance.
Juvish gets off the palanquin that round to double her kills for Sunset. Has to step up and clutch and delivers. All right, well, this is the last round of the half here, ZETA Division. Trying to make it respectable. However, the Arsenal is anything but. A couple of Bulldogs here with Serena's Sheriff. Showstopper for Suzu that had best find some application here on round 12.
Getting that orb over to UR, who's going to be one off the Hunter's Fury for this final round. At some point, maybe they can get that active, could be crucial in a retake, but MIBR just haven't even been allowing ZETA to set up for retakes. They've been so proactive at fighting them in those transitional moments where they're ready to go, and then all of a sudden, SRN is right up in your face.
Melissa taking her time. Here come the rest of the team. The fault line sent from Tiles. This one is going to interrupt SRN, and they can't satchel themselves out of there. Good response for ZETA. That patient play paying off, but MIBR have already headed for the hills, so there's no chance for this showstopper to get an easy one.
Now fully routed out of A, headed towards B main, where they'll have to contend with a trip. Serena playing pretty close, just the Sheriff, excuse me, but getting some assistance from Moko, trying to play off that one-way cage.
30 seconds left.
It's very good cage. It's so hard to defeat, and when you're short on time like MIBR, they've just got to go for it. You are Hunter's Fury claims Sayuri, now it's down to Melissa in a 1 versus 3. Suzu completes the kill. And ZETA at least get to 3 for the half.
At very least, they played some good rounds, but you just have to look at the scoreboard, and frankly, well, it tells the tale. SRN is sitting at 25 kills. Ruthless aggression was fighting them at every moment and winning every single duel.
All right, so we got our second half of Sunset around the corner, and if ZETA want to make a game of this, they're going to have to be spectacular. Fingers crossed for that one. We'll see you on the other side.
Nice, nice.
Similar story. Okay, not quite the same. Similar story to what we saw coming out of Ascent, though, for ZETA Division. It's just tough for them to get anything going. They win rounds 5 and 6, right? Ryota gets in there with a cheeky little timeout. They're still not able to build off of it there and still 5 rounds, 1 in a row by MIBR. ZETA get 1 back just before the end of that first half, but it's been difficult. And again, when your opponent has a player like SRN at 25 kills and 7 deaths over the course of 12 rounds, at that point, you've just got to throw your hands up in the air and say, you got me.
They have ran up against an MIBR playing with a vengeance off their last loss to G2. They were crushed on Sunset by the European side and are now just in unreal form, individually, specifically. It is SRN. 25 for 7 has the Sheriff into this round. Why not go for a couple more? Last chance for ZETA Division, who have been on an incredible lower bracket run. No one thought that they would have made it this far. It's not over just yet. But they have to dig so deep to get back into this game. They've played a few good rounds, but they have to be better. Individually, they have to be faster with these shots.
We had never thought this would be the team that would eliminate FlyQuest and Falcons from the competition, but there's a concern for ZETA and their fans that it might be their time today. Up mid they go, SRN!
Down mid.
Stops the show. That is 2 headshots with the Sheriff, and ZETA are brought to a screeching halt. Now they're going to have to go for a contingency. It's through Market over to B that they've got to go.
Cage triggered.
Tripwire up with that B side, though. The Jubish can play off here. ZETA might just relegate themselves to this front half of the site, excuse me.
We're trying to play a cheeky position in the smoke, but no one can cover Market, and Jelly is just so good with those one-taps.
Hands up to UR here in a 1 versus 5. Spike's already being worked on. Jelly works on her, and that is pistol 1 by MIBR, taking them to 10.
And not a second wasted into the round. SRN able to find 2 kills with the Sheriff on for the 30 bomb. Absolutely. Insane. What can you even do in this situation?
Planted.
Swings out, instant 2-tap. How can you beat a player in this form? How can you do it?
I don't know if you can.
I see you rifling through the notebook right now. You're trying to find the solutions on how to shut down arrays with 27 kills in 11 rounds.
I think Dodds has the highest kill total in a map. We're getting 36 kills in a 13-5. That was against Leviathan for Crew Blaze domestically. So if we're keeping an eye on records here, that's what SRN is aiming for.
You can just see in the play still, SRN is just open facing down mid. Exposed to multiple angles, doesn't matter. Ready to take the duels. ZETA have come into this round with 4 classics, just the Frenzy. They want to save up to get that full buy.
You are down at 68, Serena 31. Shadows traveling. ZETA batted up a little bit there on the cross, and yeah, you've got to at some point disrespect this one way. ZETA have no choice but to challenge through that. Fault line is obviously going to allow them to force Melissa off the line at least, but in they come again. And ZETA are running out of time. They're just giving up ground once more. Jelly just says, okay, let's take some fights. I'm ready to throw down.
Flawless.
Blink and you miss it. Another flawless back-to-back here for MIBR.
The duo in that crossfire more than happy to take the duels together with the superior weapons, flashes in tandem. Very easy against the classics. This is truly it for ZETA. Everything they've got is going into this round. Rifles for everybody. Going up against MIBR with a competent enough buy. Couple Bulldogs, couple Vandals when we get into this. Everything on the line.
That was really clean. Yeah, just the retake of A long there for MIBR. Nothing ZETA could do about it. MIBR outnumbered significantly, but ZETA weapons are with the flash. Here comes ZETA now. It's a tentative approach, but look at the camera set up here. Yep, they're going to be spotted out almost instantly.
And look, you can tell by the minimap, ZETA, they are just intent on hitting B. Both trips are placed to cover their flank right now. Here comes the dark cover, aftershock through. Suzu trying to crack something open in the site, find that first kill.
Can she get into backside? Market might be the play, but she's going to run against the raid boss, SRN. Who creates a little bit of space with those paint shells. Now also an aftershock over on the side, caught Serena around. You are able to deal with SRN at the very least, but Sayori from backside, grouped up here with Jelly. Both fall, in fact. Arco and Moko can get it done, but this does leave ZETA with 1 player to work with, and it's Moko. Jubish there, brought down. She was low as it was. Melissa is inside Market with the line directly on the spike. She's nasty.
Melissa just too fast there on the trigger. 12 for MIBR. ZETA on death's door. It has been an incredible run for them. It's been a pleasure to be able to watch them make it this far. The furthest the Japanese team has gone in a Game Changers Championship. But this may just be it. MIBR today are just too good.
They are furious.
SRN is a class above everyone in the server.
Yeah, I feel like our audience really definitely mirroring the emotions of the Zeta Division players right now. I feel like nothing is working. They're going to push up. They're going to go for it either way. Fight with honor. Do Zeta Division. But they lose Suzu so early on. Their duelist, the one they look to in moments like this, he's already gone. And Melissa finds yet another one. MIBR are relentless, merciless. And here comes Thrash to chase down. He's going to get removed. Also a Aftershock committed to this fight.
Down mid.
SRN's already in tiles, and now Serena, the last one standing. Zeta's last hurrah! And they don't go out with a whimper, at least. Serena stands her ground, brings SRN to heal, but MIBR swing through. And they will fight forward in this lower bracket. A systematic deconstruction of Zeta Division. The Japanese team are eliminated.
A lot of people had questions about MIBR coming into this tournament. Most of them surrounding Team Liquid. We're used to seeing them here. MIBR bested them to get into the championship here in 2024. And they're trying to recreate that same magical run that Liquid went on last year through the lower bracket, getting into the finals. It begins here after a tough loss against G2 yesterday. They have played with a vengeance today. SRN was simply inexorable, 29-9 to end this game. You have to give so much credit, though, to Zeta Division for an amazing run. It was a joy to watch them go from such an underdog to
number 2 in Pacific.
Yeah, number 2 in Pacific. Didn't get a map off Zipto to making it all the way this far into the lower bracket. Beating FlyQuest, Falcons, upset wins. You would not have expected them to be here.
Now this MIBR squad here went and faced one of the juggernauts of Game Changers champions, and yes, they fell. They stay alive in the lower bracket to keep alive a legacy that Brazil has maintained through Game Changers champions, and also presents a real threat to any team unfortunate enough to fall to this lower bracket, to fall into their way. Remember, they'll advance. They're also looking at, you know, the loser of that upper final, that G2 versus Shopify matchup. They're hungry. I mean, I definitely feel like this MIBR team are looking for recognition, for credit. And what better way than dispatching one of the top teams in the world on their way to a finals run? That's on the table for them.
It is a scary prospect, whoever has to beat them in the bracket next. We saw G2 able to beat them in the tactical game, but man, if MIBR are playing like how they did today, you might want to think that series could have gone another way. This was a totally different beast.
SRN, by the way, 512 ACS, a record, the highest ever at Game Changers Champions.
And that is just mental.
The closest person at 276, if you're wondering.
I mean, I've never seen so many showstoppers in one half of Valorant in my life.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 in 9 rounds, I want to say. They just kept coming. Hey, some moments here, of course, is... Yeah, look, when Zeta Division were able to put it together, we actually got to see a great retake for them. Over on that A side, looked really, really good, but in general, they're being disrupted. In general, MIBR setting SRN up, creating space for the Rays, whether it's Rolling Thunders, any of like a Thrash also to try and set them up. It's hard to overcome this.
Yeah, absolutely. We did still get to see some great rounds from them that just kind of went awry in those final moments. But overall in this tournament, Zeta has played a fantastic tactical game. We've seen so many cool, big set rounds from them, manipulating the rotates on defense, big fakes, big aggressive plays on D. Really exciting to watch.
Let's send it over to Mika Fabs down on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview with SRN.
We are here right now with SRN of MIBR. Congratulations on that win. I'm very curious, how does it feel like to get that 13-0 on a global stage?
It was chill. And I told my mom yesterday that today I will destroy Zeta. So I did.
Oh, wow. You can say, hey, Mom, I did it. Now, you actually achieved the highest ACS for a player on the Game Changers Champions stage at 512. That is insane. That's ridiculous. That deserves a round of applause for SRN. Your performance performance was amazing. What was going through your head as you were preparing for this match?
I think that like this match is very important to me and for my team. And we have a lot of things to show. Like the other matches that we're gonna play, be prepared.
The real MIBR, am I right, is
Yeah.
coming. And Jelly said earlier during the arrival interview that the loss to G2 yesterday was actually even helpful or good for the team. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree, because like it's better to lose like yesterday than lost in the grand finals, you know?
Ooh, I like that. They are heading towards the grand finals already. Eyes on the prize indeed. Now, I'm very curious too. You may potentially be up against Sipto or Visa Crew Blaze up next. Which would you prefer?
I prefer play against Crew because I know their play style, but play against Zipto, maybe it's gonna be good as well.
I mean, if MIBR continue on this track, I don't think it matters, right? Congratulations to you,
Thank you so
SR,
much.
and congratulations to you and the rest of MIBR. Thank you to Arthur for standing by with some translation. Congrats!
Red Bull gives you wings.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.